I'm Matt McClure, and this is Currents. A first-timer gives us her perspective of the March for Life.
I'm just so overwhelmed at how many people are here right now, and especially that it's all young kids.
A dramatic first-hand account of the devastation in Haiti from Archbishop Dolan.
Words like Dresden and Hiroshima and the Twin Towers after 9/11 readily come to mind.
Plus, the Pope's message for World Communications Day. Well, for the 36th time, thousands of pro-life protesters took to the streets of Washington, D.C. Friday for the annual March for Life. They were there protesting the Supreme Court's Roe v. Wade decision that legalized abortion across the U.S. Many of the marchers there had personal reasons for being there, including the young lady you're about to meet. She's a high school student at Fontbonne Hall Academy in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn, and we caught up with her Friday morning as she prepared to make her very first march.
My name is Emma Wolf. I'm 17 years old, and today I will be going on the March for Life. Let's go. Yeah, I'm hoping that it's a really big turnout, and I hope that everyone is as passionate as I am. I was adopted, and my birth mother had me when she was 16 years old, only a sophomore in high school. She could have easily gotten an abortion, but she didn't. I want everyone else to have that chance of life like I did.
We pray in Thanksgiving for a beautiful day, that we'll have a lot of support from our colleagues everywhere. There'll probably be 100,000 people here, and see how many people really are pro-life. It's really the majority.
Right now we are in Washington, D.C. at the March for Life. I am really, really excited about this turnout. I wasn't expecting it to be this many people at all, and I'm really excited for the walk. Everyone's very enthusiastic about it. Everyone has signs, and there's just a really good feeling here that everyone's really for this.
My name is Brita Connolly. I'm a teacher at Fontbonne Hall Academy, and I'm also the moderator of the Friends for Life Club. I personally have been coming to the march for the past 6 years with students from Fontbonne Hall Academy in Brooklyn, and every year I feel more energized and encouraged by the numbers of people, the young people that come to speak out on behalf of the unborn.
We love babies, how about you? We love babies, how about you? We love babies, how about you? I-E. You mean S? S. What's that spell?
Baby! I think marches like this is very important just because it gets everyone aware about it and gets it out to the rest of the world.
Give the gift of purity, guys. Valentine's Day is coming up. Give the gift of purity. We also have...
I'm just so overwhelmed at how many people are here right now, and especially that it's all young kids. People actually care, and that there's hope for future generations.
Well, at least he tried. At least he wasn't like, oh, okay, now he's blindly evil. Like, at least
this sign right here that a lot of people are carrying around, I find very interesting because people usually don't consider men when they think of abortion. They only think of women. So I'm really happy to see something like that. And I think it's really good for everyone else to see as well. I think Obama will really see this and take it into a lot of consideration because of how many supporters there are out here. I think the march was really good for everyone who came, and hopefully it's a success so people do realize how important pro-life is.
Sometimes I think that young people in particular feel as if they are, you know, a single voice crying out in the wilderness, and in fact, when they come to an event like this, they see that they are not alone, that there is a swelling of a desire for the protection of life throughout the country, and I think they're going to be energized by it when they take the message back to the other girls at Fontbonne Hall Academy.
Emma Wolf there, an impressive witness to her beliefs. Coming up later on, we'll show you the march from a different perspective. We'll hear from someone who's been marching for more than 20 years. But stay tuned. Straight ahead on Currents, we'll have the day's headlines, including what Archbishop Dolan saw on his trip to earthquake-ravaged Haiti. Welcome back to Currents. I'm Matt McClure. Coming up in just a bit, we'll get a more seasoned look at the March for Life. But first, let's get a look at the day's headlines. New York Archbishop Timothy Dolan flew to Haiti this weekend to attend the funeral of the Archbishop of Port-au-Prince. Dolan was among hundreds of mourners who turned out Saturday for the funeral of Monsignor Joseph Serge Millot. He was apparently in his church office when the quake hit more than a week ago. Crews pulled the Archbishop's body from the rubble of the cathedral last Tuesday. The funeral service was held in a courtyard just outside where the cathedral stood. Now, while in Haiti, Archbishop Dolan also had a chance to visit with survivors and people helping with relief efforts. He slept in a camp and ate from rations. Well, back in New York today, Dolan spoke with reporters about his experience in the devastated island nation, and I was there. With his mind still filled with the memory of the devastation at Haiti's main cathedral, New York Archbishop Timothy Dolan returned to one of the grandest cathedrals in the U.S. today. At St. Patrick's Cathedral in Manhattan, Dolan recalled what he saw, death and despair, but a bit of hope shining through.
The only vocabulary I have, of course, is the vocabulary of faith. And I find myself having experienced profoundly both the sorrow, the tragedy, the darkness and death of Good Friday, and the beginnings of the light and radiance and hope and resurrection of Easter Sunday.
But the language of faith wasn't the only way Archbishop Dolan described his experience in Haiti.
The number of dead is approaching 150,000. And they know that they have not recuperated all the bodies. When I went to St. Francis de Sales Hospital, there in the rubble was the whole neonatal unit. And you could see the ruins of the incubators and the beds crushed. You could see the rocks piled one on the other, and there were the mothers there crying because over 40 of their babies were there in the rubble. Words like Dresden and Hiroshima and the Twin Towers after 9/11 readily come to mind.
Dolan, who is chairman of the board for Catholic Relief Services, flew down to Haiti with a plane load of relief supplies and spent time with relief workers.
The good chunk of those over 300 Catholic Relief Service workers are not Americans, but they're Haitians. So not only are they bringing help, they need help because they've lost their homes, they've lost family members. But you can almost see in their eyes a resilience and a determination to rebuild.
So where does Haiti go from here? Archbishop Dolan says there's plenty that Americans of all faiths can do.
We think in sound bites and we think in terms of quick fixes. This is going to be years in rebuilding, and we can't forget them. So yes, people of the United States, please continue to do what you've done. Even when the headlines are done, even when the camera crews are gone, don't forget Haiti. And to continue giving, you can head on over to our website, currentsny.net. There you'll find links to reputable organizations who are making a difference in Haiti. For the first time in 20 years, the Pope has named a woman to serve as the Undersecretary of a Pontifical Council. Pope Benedict has appointed laywoman Flaminia Giovanelli to be the new Undersecretary of the Pontifical Council for Justice and Peace. Giovanelli is a political scientist who's worked at the council for more than 35 years. She fills the position that had been vacant since 2006. Well, in Russia, more than 100 Russian Orthodox Church members were hospitalized after drinking holy water. The churchgoers drank the water from wells near a church last week during Epiphany, which they celebrate on January 19th. A total of 117 people complained of intense intestinal pain and had to be admitted to the hospital. Investigators say it's too early to tell exactly what caused the illness. Well, as federal funds for abstinence-only sexual education programs are drying up, reports say faith-based groups are stepping in to keep the message of no sex before marriage in teens' minds. The Obama administration's budget has set aside $114 million for a teen pregnancy prevention initiative, but that does not include funding for abstinence-only programs.
The critics of such programs say there's no evidence that they're effective, but the director of the National Abstinence Education Foundation says that at least one study shows students who have been through the abstinence-only education are half as likely to initiate sex as their peers. The federal budget cuts could affect as many as 1.5 million teens. Well, premarital sex and teen pregnancy are two themes in a Christian film that was released in a limited number of theaters this weekend. To Save a Life came in at number 15 at the box office, making $1.5 million. The movie tells the story of a popular high school student named Jake who struggles with life questions after the suicide of a childhood friend. A Minnesota couple is hoping to save the lives of some Haitians, and their generosity is being rewarded. Leah Bogan and Will Nicholson agreed to donate $2,500 from their wedding's food budget to a relief charity. And now they're being flooded with donations themselves, as dozens of others have offered to help the couple with their wedding. Joe Fryer has the story.
If you need proof what goes around comes around,
it has been full.
Just check Leah Bogan's email inbox.
Every time I open my email, there's another 10 plus new messages.
First, Leah and her fiance Will donated their wedding food budget, $2,500 to relief efforts in Haiti.
Hair, makeup.
Now dozens of others.
One designer offered to do a suit for Will.
Want to donate.
No shortage of photographers.
To them.
More wedding related things than I even really knew existed.
With their wedding still 5 months away, things are quickly changing.
Wedding planning for us has just gotten more complicated in the most wonderful way you could imagine.
Perhaps the most amazing offer comes from Beau Pierre Louis.
The unselfishness is unparalleled. I cried.
His family owns a medical research facility in Haiti. Their building was destroyed and some employees are still missing.
Haiti is very important to me.
Beau was so touched by the wedding donation, he's now asking members of a Haitian church in St. Paul to make the finest Haitian food possible for the couple's wedding.
I am ready to provide. If they want to bring 1,000 people, there's no limit. I will provide the fund necessary so they can have the most beautiful wedding.
Leah and Will say the donation is an honor.
It's the most beautiful gift anybody has offered either of us. It's just amazing.
As the generous offers continue to pour in, the couple is sketching out a plan. They admit this graph's a bit elementary, but the basic idea is when someone donates a service or item they can use, they'll donate that part of their wedding budget to relief efforts in Haiti.
This is what we're going to try to do with our wedding. And if it works, maybe there's a possibility that it could be done on a larger scale.
For Leah and Will, what goes around has come around many times over.
Great story there. That's Joe Fryer reporting. And donations to Haiti keep coming in from around the world. Friday night's telethon for Haiti, which aired on all the major networks, has brought in $58 million so far. Technology is also playing a big part in the relief effort. The Red Cross says 60% of its donations have been online contributions. Well, technology is also a big part of spreading the church's message. Pope Benedict is encouraging the use of the internet and high-tech gadgets to do just that. We'll have much more on that when Currents comes back. Just ahead, the Pope offers encouragement on spreading the gospel message in the digital age. Welcome back. This weekend, Pope Benedict announced his message for World Communications Day. And as we hear from the news service H2O, it could be summed up in 3 little words. Let's get digital.
To help people grow in faith, in contact with the men and women of our time, using the resources made available by the digital age in which we live. This is what Benedict XVI highlights as the urgent and unavoidable task for priests and consecrated men and women on the 44th day of social communications, which is to be celebrated this coming May 16th. The theme for the day is The Priest and Pastoral Ministry in a Digital World, New Media at the Service of the Word. In his message, the Pope says that through modern means of communication, the priest will make known the life of the Church and help people today to rediscover the face of Christ. New technologies are in this sense a resource and an opportunity for believers in order that no road shall be closed to those who, in the name of Christ, draw near to their fellows in humanity.
Well, the Pope's emphasis on the internet should not really come as a surprise to anybody. In last year's message, Benedict focused on what he called the digital continent, and he encouraged the faithful to evangelize that continent. And that is territory that the Church has been visiting more and more, as we hear in this report from Rome Reports.
There's no doubt the internet has revolutionized the world of communications. And that's why the Pope says he wants Catholics to stay ahead of the times and learn how to spread their message efficiently and effectively through digital media.
The Pope very clearly last year had said that the digital continent were probably the people who are best positioned to evangelize it.
For the last 44 years, the Pope has sent a special message to journalists on World Day for Social Communications.
The World Communications Day was born out of a decision taken actually at the Second Vatican Council to put a renewed emphasis on the importance of communications in the life of the Church.
This year's theme is The Priest and the Pastoral Ministry of the Digital World, New Media at the Service of the Word. It specifically makes reference to the year for priests, but it's for all Christians to celebrate.
And that message is always addressed to the complete and whole Christian community. It may focus the attention on a particular group, but it's a message that's intended to be of universal relevance.
The message is already being implemented by means of websites such as Vatican.va or Claris.org. The Vatican regularly uploads the latest news and activities surrounding the Pope. For those who want to get to know Pope Benedict XVI a little better, over the past couple of years, other initiatives have also come to life, such as websites like RomeReports.com and what's considered the Catholic version of Facebook, XT3. For these websites and the rest, the Pope is urging to practice professionalism and to remember religious information is just as important in the headlines as the rest. Headlines on religious information using the latest technological tools, a way to take the Christian message to cyberspace.
Well, for more on how the Church is using the internet, we invite you to use the internet. Just log on to currentsny.net, click on our blog. It's called Riding the Wave. There you'll find some links to some websites that were mentioned in that report. Well, don't go away. When we come back, one more look at Friday's March for Life. We'll hear from someone who's been doing it for more than 2 decades.
You see this stream of people, but then you look back and as far as you can see, you have another stream of people coming behind you.
Well, finally tonight, we began this show with the first impressions of someone making her very first March for Life this past Friday. We wanted to close with another view from someone who's been there many times. Brendan Bulger has been making the trip to Washington for over 20 years. We joined him outside St. Anselm's in Brooklyn as once again he made preparations for the trip. And he shared his thoughts about what has become one of the most important journeys of his life, a journey for life.
I started in 1990. I started going down then. And I've gone probably about 18. I missed about 2 of them since I started.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
I'm the bus driver. My name is William. You can call me William. It's about roughly about 4 hours from here to D.C.
Before we get to the march, we'll give you information about the bus number, where we're going to meet, and I also made sketches of the march, just in case anybody wants to sketch.
We're going right to life. We're going on the march to Washington. With the babies. The babies.
We need the prayer. We need somebody, usually a person sit down first. We need the prayer.
When you look forward, because it goes up a hill, as you're coming to the end, and you see this like stream of people, but then you look back and as far as you can see. You have another stream of people coming behind you, and there's thousands of people lining the march as well with banners and everything else. I went to the first one in 1990, and that's when I got involved in the movement. I came down on the bus to Washington, and I met a couple of people on the bus, and they asked us to go down to 39th Street and, you know, prayer in front of the abortion mill down there at the time. And that's how it started, and I went down every year after that.
If people see this, they would see that there's so many people that are for life, that, you know, the tide would turn even faster than it is already.
To me, the life movement is going back to the march, and you get re-energized for the whole year, because you get depressed when you have a small enclave and a small group that really, you know, all you see is that little group, and you wonder if anybody else cares about anything. But then you come down here and you see that there's tens of thousands of people that are as, you know, faithful to the cause as you are, you know.
Images and impressions from this year's March for Life. Well, that's it for this edition of Currents. Now, coming up tomorrow, we'll take you to a special mass for those struggling to recover from the earthquake, as we visit a parish in with one of the largest Haitian populations. It's St. Jerome's in Brooklyn. But in the meantime, remember, you don't need a TV to watch Currents. You can always catch us online at currentsny.net. Until next time, thank you so much for watching. I'm Matt McClure. Have a great night.